everyone, this is Wobbly Wallaby. Welcome to Interviewing an Expert Episode 2. Today I'm pleased to interview ZachtSeiger, a Magic Doram expert. ZachtSeiger had reached out to me from the unofficial Ragnarok mobile Discord server and offered his help with Magic Doram. I never touched Magic Doram, so I learned a ton from him over our conversations from the last month. If you're curious about Magic Doram, stay tuned for some great advice. ZachtSeiger came from a physical class at the start. As a result, he had no magic equipment. If you've ever played classes like Arcane Master or Chronomancer, their gear can be quite expensive. He wanted to get gear that had the most value for its zenny. He said that most people get walled off with the Doram Magic's build accessories, since technically there is no early game equipment for Magic, but once you get those, you'll jump straight to endgame power level. ZachtSeiger is from the C server, so a huge thanks to ZachtSeiger for providing all the videos and screenshots in this video. Also, thanks to Amathia for helping record his character inspection video. In this video, I begin with the interview, which includes a Doram guide. I will examine his character, and then do a damage test. Let's begin the interview. I'll be narrating both the questions and responses. Also, thanks to those who asked Magic Doram questions in my YouTube community post. Some of those questions are asked in this interview. We use a lot of acronyms and short forms, so please refer to the description for a glossary of terms. What is the origin of your in-game name? He said, it's just one of my original character names. Why did you choose to switch from a physical damage class to Magic Doram? He said, it's the gameplay for me. I'm fond of stealthy classes or DPS support hybrid, and Magic build could fill both roles. It has downsides, but has answers to most encounters. What physical class did you play before? He said, an assassin. When did you start to feel the power level in Magic Doram? He said, the most noticeable jump is when I got both accessories to plus 15. At first, both of my accessories are at plus 12. Upgrading them roughly doubles my overall DPS, from 570,000 to 1 million for meteor drops. The next leap is when I got a decent plus 1 UFO S-Ruin and the critical passive from the 4th job. The plus 1 UFO is the 3rd line from the Flying Frisbee S-Ruin. The accessories are the 4-leaf clover necklace. What are the pros and cons of being a Magic Doram? He said, for the pros, there's consistent DPS and lots of AoEs. It is versatile, bulky DPS support with spammable heals. It can be used effectively in PvE, PvP, GVG, and farming. Endgame gears are relatively cheap when looking at the C Eternal Love server, and most equipment is reusable everywhere. Skills have low cooldown and reliable AoE, true damage that potentially hits harder than Chronomancer's Twisted Bomb. Has built-in critical that stacks with other magic critical equipment. For cons, the lack of burst damage, which makes it terrible at MVP hunting. Loads of manual casts with punishing delays in animation. Early game is rough, no alternative for accessories or weapons, therefore making it a very dedicated build with many of its staple equipments being unusable for other classes. There's a harder time dealing with ghost mobs or ghost string users, less noticeable in large-scale war or PvE. Getting hit every 5 seconds means you lose most of your DPS. When I asked ZachtSeiger about MVP hunting, he said, I have trouble keeping up with the time, and Magic Doram is bad at boss hunting. That's why I don't boss hunt much. Actually, its physical counterpart also lacks burst damage compared to Lightbringers or other classes, but they're still much better than Magic. What are the priority runes, Acer, stats, equipments for GVG, War of Emperium, or War Crystal for free-to-play, semi or not players? He said, the priority order for advanced runes, choose Secret Game 3rd line activated, Flying Frisbee 3rd line activated, Earth Revival 3rd line activated. If 3rd line isn't active, can opt for a higher 1st line. Meteor Strike, Fresh Tuna 3rd line activated, which is optional. Meow Hunter, a high 1st line, this is also optional. Here is a screenshot of all the advanced runes mentioned. The priority order for Acer, Catnip Meteor with a variable cast time if still can't instacast, Catnip Meteor damage, no entry, at least one, Corn Gatling, 1 is enough. Rumble, cooldown. Tasty Shrimp SP regen. Tiger Meow Fear Chance Plus. Kiwi Rootstock Twining Drain SP. The priority order for stats: Int, Dex if not Instacast, Vitality, then finally Agility and Luck if there are any magical critical equipment. For equipment, Starlight Sweetie for back if you have it. Hologram Hammer for Oracle Mirror Extract. Bring some situational immunity cards as needed. Smokey is also a good card, but not a necessity, as you can use invisibility potions. You can bring most of the PvE gear to GVG. Which items should you get first when starting as a Magic Doram? He said, for early game, 2x +8 Talisman Grass Necklace with the Moonlight Tendrillon card. +5 Nato Kig's Montague, Angry Snarl, Coif with the Sealed Apocalypse card, +10 Magical Foxgrass with the Abysmal Knight card or Hydra card, Magic Bible with the Gemini's Love card, Elegant Doram Suit, any available back, tail, shoes, face that gives stats based on priority. Meanwhile, aim for these gacha in order: Light Food, Lost Star Track if you don't have Magic Penetration back, Winter Crown, Peter Wendy or Panel Guardian or Orwell, and Koi, this is the first priority if available, Norma, and Bottled Star. The priority order for mid-game is 2x +12 4-leaf clover necklaces with Fire Witch cards. If you decide to sell these accessories later, it might take a long time to sell. As hard as it might be, it is better to go straight to +15 since it is cheap. +10 Magical Yellow Foxgrass with Abysmal Knights or Hydra cards. Wizardry Staff for Oracle Mirror Extract. Any good Enchanted Boots with Familiar Star card. +10 Lazy Meowcoat with Moonex Star or Elemental cards. Aim for variable cast time percentage enchants. +12 Divine Feather Clothes with Radix Star card. +10 Creeper Agreement. Wicked Sunflower Star card. The priority order for endgame: 2x +15 4-leaf clover necklaces, 2x Fire Witch Star cards, the Katarina card, +10 Silent Sinking if no Winter Crown, 1 to 2x Incarnation Samurai card, +15 Creeper Agreement, Stick of Wicked Thought Oracle Mirror Extract, +15 Kitten's Ankle Bell with good enchantment preferred, +15 Magical Yellow Foxgrass, +15 Divine Feather Clothes, +15 Lazy Meowcoat. Finally, the Revenant Osiris and Revenant the TARDIS cards. What gear, stats, or enchants should we get to increase the DPS of Magic Doram? He said, the general stats and chance priority in order are Magic Penetration, Ignore Magic Defense, Skill Damage, Neutral Damage, Magic Damage Increase, Magic Attack /int, Max HP Percentage, Magic Attack, and Heal Increase. Can you achieve no cast Catnip Meteor without Dex? Yes you can. Variable cast time for Catnip Meteor level 20 is 9 seconds without Acer, and many staple equipments from Magic Dorams give negative variable cast time. For starters, take all the Acer nodes and use the negative variable cast time Yellow Advanced Attribute Ruin. Slowly remove them and reduce Dex as gear progresses. What are the priorities for Guild Blessings and Prayers? He said the priority order for Blessing is Magic Attack, Max HP, and least useful is Attack. The priority order for Prayer is Magic Penetration, Ignore Magic Defense, Neutral Damage, Magic Damage Increase, then Magic Attack /Demi-Human Damage for the Attack Prayer cards, and Earth Damage for the Elemental Prayer cards. Is it okay to switch to a Magic Doram? He said, I'd say if you can endure the rough early game of Magic Doram, then it is okay. It's a very versatile DPS. Kindly refer to the pros and cons question. Do you have any Magic Doram guides to recommend? He said, unfortunately, I haven't yet found another in-depth written guide for Magic Doram besides Vogue's. In fact, It covers other Doram builds too, not just the magic one. You should definitely check it out. I reached out to Vogue and she gave me an updated picture from her Magic Doram guide that I could use in this video. I'll put a link in the description for her written guides. How important are the third lines for Flying Frisbee and Earth Revival Star? He said, Flying Frisbee's third line is crucial. UFO contributes to more than 50% of Magic Doram DPS and is also used for farming. As for Earth Revival, the third line is mostly for PvP or GVG. For general use, the first line is more important. You can save 2 Earth Revivals for separate uses. Where do you farm now? He said, I used to farm Moonlight Tindrillin, but since there's a donate event, I go to Sunken Ship. I got around 4 million plus, roughly with all the materials sold, not counting taxes. This is the auto attack when at high level areas. On low level, I put all summons, like Lunatic Gunner and Corn Gatling, in the auto attack bar too. Normally, I farm Moonlight Tindrillin if there's no specific event ongoing. I get around 2 million raw zenny plus auto sell. Iridicons are worth around 700 to 900,000. Ear Lightgrass sold to NPCs, and not counting blue gems or other drops. Maybe around 2.8 to 3 million per day including taxes. Lower drops if there's someone in the spot. No macros and no merchant multi-class used. What is your role during GVG? He said DPS, Meteor/UFOs for squishy targets, Pepper Bomb for high reduction/defense. For defensively, denying certain spots with AoEs. What is your role during PvE content like Oracle and Thanatos Tower? He said DPS, for some instances doubling as healer support. Here's a clip of ZachtSeiger providing healing support. He can groom for over 110,000 HP. He can rumble for over 168,000 HP. What is the ideal magic ignore defense for Magic Dorams? For PvE, it's 130% minimum and 150% is a sweet spot. For PvP, around 180 to 200%. However, rather than sacrificing more important stats for ignore magic defense, it is better to rely on Pepper Bombs for higher defense players. Magic Dorams can utilize Sharkfellow too, but Pepper Bomb has more one-shot potential. Do you have any shoutouts? Thanks to Star Guildies who carried me through hard times and the Discord community for all the helpful info. And for anyone trying Magic Doram, good luck! I hope this helps to serve as guidelines. Feel free to make changes that work for you. Cheers! Next is gear. For offhand, he has a plus 10 Creeper's Agreement with a plus 9 int enchant. It adds a lot of magic ignore defense. The new Wicked Sunflower Star card is used to add insane magic skill damage percentage. For armor, the plus 10 Lazy Meow Coat with a nice magic 4 enchant. A nice way to get extra magic attack percentage and reduce variable cast time. The Ghost Train card allows you to take only 25% damage from neutral attacks. For garment, he uses the plus 12 Divine Feather Clothes with Arcane 1 enchant. This does a lot of things including adding to ignore magic defense, magic attack percentage, and skill damage. He uses the Raytrix Star card for neutral element damage increase. This is for Catnip Meteor since it's locked to neutral damage. For boots, he uses the plus 15 Kitten's Ankle Bell with Arcane 4 enchant. It adds nice magic damage percentage increase. For card, he uses the Familiar Star card for more magic attack. For accessories, he uses the plus 15 4-leaf clover necklace with plus 8 int enchant. This accessory adds a ton of damage to Catnip Meteor. He uses the Fire Witch Star card for great ignore magic defense percentage. Also, the price of a plus 15 accessory that adds that much extra DPS is relatively cheap for a plus 15 accessory. For the other accessory, he's using another plus 15 4-leaf clover necklace with a magic attack enchant. Again, he uses the Fire Witch Star card. For weapon, he uses the plus 15 magical yellow foxgrass with the magic 1 enchant. This adds a ton of damage for Catnip Meteor and uses 2 Hydra cards for PvP. For head, he uses the Bottled Star with the Katarina card. Together, that adds a lot of magic penetration percentage. For face, he uses a plus 10 silent sinking with an insight enchantment. It has great skill damage increase. For mouth, he uses light food for more skill damage increase and variable cast time reduction. For back, he uses Tamamo's tail for magic penetration and final damage to targets. For tail, he uses Peter Wendy's with Arcane 4 enchantments. The chance to get magic penetration plus 15% is insane. Next is auto attacks and manual skills. For auto attack, he uses Tuna Party, Catnip Meteor, Pepper Bomb, which is the 4th job skill, Kiwi Stock Gun, and Groom. For manual, he uses Catnip Meteor, Corn Gatling, which is from Acer, Cat Flying Saucer Bombardment, which is from Advanced Runes, Meow Grass, Cadmint Powder, and Jump. For his next manual bar, he uses No Entry, which is from Acer, Clear Sky Whirlpool, which is 4th job, Pepper Bomb, which is 4th job, Natural Rage, which is from 4th job, Meow, and Meow Meow. For his last manual bar, he uses Prepare for Elite. His Prepare for Elite has Stoop, Soul Bead, Meow Meow, Cat Sight, Tasty Shrimp Party, and Natural Rage, which is the 4th job skill. Then he has Shrimp Pond from Advanced Ruins, Cat Transformation from 4th job, Tuna Party, Rumble, and Dried Lifesaver Fish. Next are attributes and stats. You can see he's quite tanky with 482,000 HP. His magic attack is almost 15,000. He also has a ton of int with 422. Here are his magic attributes. What didn't show up in the video inspection but came up from an older screenshot are these 2 magic attributes. His ignore magic defense percentage is at 141.5%. His variable cast time percentage is negative 42.5%. This gives you a rough idea of the type of ignore magic defense and variable cast time you should be aiming for. Next are his advanced runes. These are his advanced runes for PvE content. These are his advanced runes for farming. Next are his adventure handbook attributes. He has over 38,000 HP and 1.4k magic attack. His magic damage percent increases at 15%, in case you're wondering what his 1% deposits are like. Next is the damage test. The dummy is set to demi-human, large, and water. We can see the UFO drop starts at 7.9 million each hit, then goes to 8.5 million, and then over 10 million. Then he casts his other attack skills. We see the DPS go to more than 32 million. I would hate to stand under that in PvP. I'd be in constant sunlock and I'd be melted by that DPS. I asked ZachtSeiger about the UFO drop difference and he said, it started off at 7.9 million because he used Panel Guardian for faster setup time. Then, it went to 8.5 million when he used Prepare for Elite, since the 15% magic damage percent increase and Natural Rage, which adds 25% damage to summon objects, is there. And lastly, it jumped into 10 million because of Peter Wendy's plus 15% magic penetration proccing. Finally, a huge thank you once again to ZachtSeiger for all the useful information and advice. He had spent countless hours collaborating with me on this video. I hope you learned a lot about Magic Doram and how versatile it can be. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe.